There are 9 predictable soft spots that many women show, and you will learn them now. Know them and you will read situations faster. Know them and you will respond with calm. Know them and you will avoid common traps that cost time, dignity, and real connection. This is not about tricking anyone. This is about clearing the fog. The core truth is simple. People move from need. These 9 areas are where need becomes visible. When you treat those moments as signals, not as targets, you gain influence without harm. That is the payoff. You live in a world of signals that lie. Profiles lie. Photos lie. Phrases lie. The faster you learn to spot the real signals, the less you get manipulated by them, and the more you give others what they actually want. The deeper secret that ties all 9 together is a single mirror. I will name it the mirror of agency. It is the idea that every visible weakness is also an unspoken request for agency. That request may be honest, it may be performative, it may be a test. You will learn to read it, not to exploit it. First, a plain truth. If you hear a complaint, take it as information. Do not take it as a verdict. People often speak from pressure, not from character. If you can hear the pressure under the words, you can respond with presence. Presence disarms drama. Presence builds trust. Presence keeps you free. Now, a brief and honest ask. If you want frameworks that change results, subscribe and stay. This channel is about making you steadier. Subscribe only if you want to be less reactive. I will not waste your time. There is a darker side to knowledge. The same awareness that lets you act with clarity can be bent into manipulation. Knowing a pattern does not give you moral license to use it. The cost of that choice is loss of self-respect and eventual collapse of the thing you tried to win. Influence built on manipulation is brittle. Influence built on clarity lasts. Keep that in mind as we move forward. The test of every tactic is simple. Does it preserve dignity, including yours? Begin with certainty and safety. Most human decisions start with a baseline question. Am I safe to be myself here? Safety wears many faces. It is financial predictability. It is emotional consistency. It is the sense that someone will not disappear when trouble comes. When people feel safe, they relax. When people feel unsafe, they sharpen. For many women, safety registers early. It is not weakness. It is priority. You see this in dating. You see this in workplaces. Someone who signals safety with calm competence stands out. How to show safety without grand statements. Keep promises, be early. Speak truthfully about your intentions. Do not perform confidence. Show it in small things. Pay attention to logistics. Send the message that you are a stable environment. Stability attracts security. Security allows vulnerability. Vulnerability is the foundation of intimacy and trust. When you offer security, you are not buying compliance. You are creating a container where both of you can be honest. The second pattern is social proof and status. We live in networked societies where reputation moves faster than character. Signals like friends, work, and visible competence matter. Many people, including many women, use status cues to shortcut risk assessment. This is a survival trick. It is not a moral failing. Recognize the shortcut. You will see it in introductions, in social media, and in conversations about who you know or what you do. Status misleads when it replaces substance. Substance is what lasts. Status is what opens the door. How to use status ethically. Invest in actual competence. Cultivate real craft. Let your actions produce quiet credibility. Do not mimic status, earn it. When you are genuinely capable, you can offer value without posturing. That changes the dynamic. People will still use shortcuts. That is fine. Your job is to be real when they look closer. The third pattern is novelty and attention. The brain craves newness. Newness triggers chemistry. It also steals attention from the steady, slow work that builds value. In relationships, novelty can feel like chemistry. Chemistry often says, I am alive. Chemistry is not the same as suitability. It is a head turn. If you mistake novelty for depth, you make choices that fail under stress. How to balance novelty with depth. Pursue curiosity. Bring newness into stable structures. Introduce novelty at a pace that lets it settle into reality. Show interestingness through action. Surprise through thoughtfulness. Surprise that serves a larger pattern is attractive. Surprise that is chaotic becomes a liability. The fourth pattern is emotional contagion. Emotions flow. They catch. One person's anxiety spreads. One person's calm soothes. Many people gauge another's mood before they speak. They mirror it to test intent. This is not a game. It is survival wiring. When you understand contagion, you can shape atmosphere. That gives you influence without coercion. How to manage contagion. Start with your own state. Notice your breath. Tighten the field you share with others. When someone escalates, offer steadiness. That is not suppression. That is leadership of the room. You do not have to fix feelings. You only have to hold them without amplifying them. Hold with curiosity. Ask one clarifying question before you try to solve anything. That slows the spread. The fifth pattern is reciprocity and exchange. People build trust through return. Small favors create obligation. This is not transactional cynicism. It is how social contracts form. Many women, like many men, test reciprocity to see if a relationship has balance. If you ignore that test, you will appear self-centered. If you fake reciprocity, you will be seen through. How to use reciprocity the right way. Ask what you can offer that matters. Offer first when it aligns with your values. Keep the exchange simple and generous. Use gratitude to close the loop. The goal is not to tally wins. The goal is to create a cycle of trust. That produces real leverage that everyone benefits from. The sixth pattern is identity mirrors. People seek reflections of themselves. They look for partners who echo their values, their style, or their future self. This is subtle. It shows up in conversation topics, in jokes, and in the phrases someone repeats. Many women test whether you reflect their identity before they reveal more. This is not a flaw. It is a filter. How to respond to identity mirrors. Mirror back values you actually share. Ask about future plans rather than praising current status. When you reflect someone, do so honestly. Echo their phrasing occasionally. That signals alignment. Do not become a chameleon. People detect fakes. Authentic mirroring builds rapport quickly. The seventh pattern is scarcity and loss aversion. People fear losing what they have more than they value what they might gain. Scarcity focuses attention. It sharpens desire. It can also create panic. You will see scarcity trigger short-term decisions and headline emotions. Many women will be sensitive to perceived scarcity of time, affection, or options. This is human. How to use scarcity fairly. Use boundaries. Set time limits on offers that you can uphold. Make your availability clear but not needy. Scarcity loses power when it becomes manipulation. Scarcity gains trust when it is honest. If you say you are busy, be busy. If you offer limited time, mean it. The test is consistency. Predictable boundaries produce respect. Hollow scarcity produces resentment. The eighth pattern is narrative control. People tell themselves and others stories to explain their choices. Stories shape perception more than facts. When someone frames a past event a certain way, they anchor the future. Many women use narratives to protect identity. They create stories around why they chose a path. Those stories are windows into priorities. How to meet narrative control. Listen for the story. Ask what it means to them. Offer a possible reframe only if it helps. Avoid correcting a story out of pride. The better move is to supply a parallel story that includes you. Stories are invitations. If you can tell a story that enlarges the possibility, you change the dynamic without erasing them. The ninth pattern is projection and defense. When someone projects, they place unpleasant feelings onto others. Projection is a defense. It shields the self. Many people project because facing the feeling is hard in the moment. When you notice projection, do not mirror it with blame. That escalates. Use tactical empathy instead. How to handle projection. Name the obvious emotion without judgment. Say what you see. Offer a different frame. If someone accuses you of disinterest, say, "I notice you are worried, I will leave." Ask a clarifying question. That diffuses the need to project. Bring curiosity. Offer a small act that signals you heard them. That often dissolves the attack. Now the 4-minute shift. You have heard 9 patterns. You might be thinking about leverage. That is natural. Now you must choose your path. Do you want to use this knowledge to control and win, or to create relationships that stand through pressure and growth? This is the moment of transformation. The difference is not hard to explain. Control seeks a result. Stewardship seeks a flourishing. Control seeks a noun. Stewardship builds a verb. If you choose stewardship, the rules tighten. You must be honest about motives. You must accept rejection as data, not as injury. You must accept responsibility for how your actions land. That makes this knowledge rarer and more powerful. Most people never take that step. They learn patterns and use them to get short-term wins. You will learn patterns and use them to be better. That is the discipline. Now we move into practical routines that make these patterns work for you in day-to-day life. First routine, the daily signal check. Each morning, name 3 signals you want to send. Keep them simple. Safety, curiosity, boundaries. Make a short plan that aligns actions to those signals. Small follows long. Small, consistent actions create an identity no post can fake. Second routine, the social audit. Once a week, review 3 relationships. Ask what pattern tends to trigger the other person. Ask what you give that matters. Ask what you can stop doing. This is not a performance audit for others. It is a cleansing tool for you. It keeps you present. Third routine, the containment practice. When you face escalation, count to 4 in breathing. Name 1 neutral observation. Ask 1 clarifying question. These 3 moves slow the drama network. Slowing is influence. Influence changes outcomes without force. Fourth routine, the reciprocity ledger. Keep a mental register of things you genuinely offered and things you accepted. This is not about scoring. It is about fairness. It protects your dignity. It prevents resentment. When you give with enough margin that you do not expect a tally. That prevents hidden bargaining. Fifth routine, the story test. When someone tells a story, ask, what changed for you? Listen for values. That tells you if your life paths align. It saves time. It saves heartbreak. It lets you build narratives together rather than arguing over facts. Sixth routine, the boundary ritual. Learn to say no with a reason that does not beg. No, I cannot take that on right now. No, I will not be available that evening. Keep it short. Keep tone neutral. Boundaries protect options. Options create freedom. Freedom creates better choices. Let us return to specific situations that matter. First situation, dating. Many people treat dating like a hunt for validation. That is a spiral. Use the patterns instead. Show steady availability. Show competence through plans, not boasts. Ask questions that reveal values. Test chemistry and suitability separately. When someone reacts strongly to moments of safety, note whether it is a pattern of stability or a craving for rescue. Rescue never makes a good relationship. Second situation, workplace. People test status and safety in teams. Speak to outcomes. Keep promises. Frame feedback as shared reality. When you manage a team, use contagion to set tone. Your calm is contagious. Your panic is contagious. Be intentional. Third situation, social media. Profiles amplify status and novelty. Do not confuse performance with presence. Use real-life signals to calibrate what you see online. Meet people where they are. Do not legislate good behavior from a screen. Create conditions for genuine interaction. Fourth situation, long-term partnership. Patterns shift over years. Safety becomes daily acts. Novelty must be reintroduced. Identity mirrors change as life roles change. Use rituals to renew safety and curiosity. Celebrate small collaborative wins. Make a practice of asking, what do we need right now? Now a practical script for moments of projection. When accused, say, I hear you. Tell me what you need from me. Keep voice steady. Offer one small step. Ask if that helps. If it does, follow through. If it does not, ask what would. Repeat until the pattern slows. This is not manipulation. This is presence in service of trust. When someone seeks status signaling, do not shame them. Recognize the signal. Ask about the work behind it. Offer a question that moves from surface to depth. What did you learn doing this? What did you sacrifice to reach it? That moves the conversation from trophy to story. When novelty pulls, anchor it. Say that idea is exciting. How would this work next month? Ask how the novelty fits with values. This moves chemistry into possibility. It prevents a repeat of the same mistake. When scarcity pressures you, say, I have limited bandwidth. Offer alternatives. This increases your perceived value because you manage your resources. People respect scarcity when it is honest. When narrative control surfaces, tell a different story about shared future that includes their aims. Use it to expand rather than erase. People gravitate to stories that enlarge them. When someone seeks reciprocity, calibrate with a meaningful gesture. A message that names a small contribution works better than a grand promise. Keep it measured. Consistency trumps spectacle. Keep in mind that context changes the angle. A pattern in one person may mean something different in another. Do not overgeneralize. Use these patterns as hypotheses, not certainties. Test them with simple actions. Observe results. Learn fast. Now the mirror of agency revealed in full. Every weakness you have noticed is a reflection of an unmet capacity. People show a soft spot not because they are weak, but because some part of their agency is wounded or undeveloped. When you see the soft spot, you can respond in two ways. You can feed the wound with attention and dependency. That creates short-term attachment and long-term fragility. Or you can invite agency. Invite the person to choose. Offer support that increases their ability to act. That is the paradox. The most influential move is to return agency, not to take it. Examples. If someone seeks constant reassurance, offer one specific action that makes future reassurance unnecessary. If someone signals scarcity, co-create a plan that expands perceived options. If someone projects, ask what choice they can make right now. The mirror shows them what they can become when they stop looking for rescue. This is not easy. It requires patience. It demands humility. It demands that you hold your own needs without collapsing into being a rescuer. It requires you to be comfortable with refusal. It requires you to accept that sometimes the best help is walking away so the other person must act. A stoic posture helps. Focus on what you control. Your words, your actions, your boundaries. Let outcomes be outcomes. This calms you. It makes your signals cleaner. When your signals are clean, the patterns you see become reliable. A practical closing experiment. For 7 days, pick one pattern and apply it in a single relationship. Day 1, observe safety cues. Day 2, practice steady presence. Day 3, test reciprocity. Keep notes. After a week review, did your behavior change the dynamic? Where did you err? Adjust and repeat. Small experiments create skill over time. The promise at the start was clarity. You now have 9 patterns, routines, and scripts. You have the mirror of agency. Use this knowledge to be less reactive. Use it to create better relationships. Use it to build trust that lasts. Influence without exploitation is a rare skill. It makes you stronger and kinder. End with a pledge. Choose one action you will take this week that returns agency to someone in your life. Make it simple. Make it real. Follow through. That is how culture changes. That is how you change. If this framework helped you, subscribe to see the next set of patterns and the 30-day practice that turns knowledge into habit. Leave one example in the comments of a pattern you noticed when you tried the 7-day experiment. Share what worked. We learn by doing. Stay steady. Stay clear. Keep the mirror clean.